Hey everyone, it is Pat Bruff and Bert Gardner here again.
How you doing, Pat?
I'm good. So summer is technically all gone, right? It is. It's
sadly
definitely gone. It is. And it is October 1st, and we were working on our latest installment of the Mountain View School project. And things are really, really flying along since our last video.
Yeah, I'd say so, Pat. The contractor's schedule is to have the building ready for January when the middle school kids that are at Whitebrook right now move in.
5 through 8.
So that's 5 to 8. Yep. So as we walk through the building, you're going to see a lot of stuff is coming along. It's still messy, but really floors are starting to go in and
a little bit of dust.
Little bit of dust still today, but
still a construction site.
Yep.
Right?
In a couple weeks, though, the contractor will have all that cleaned up, and we're going to actually start our punch list inspections on the building to just check quality control in 2 weeks.
Excellent. So as we have done in the past videos, we've kind of started on the third floor and kind of worked our way down. So we'll talk about this one specific room that we got some good video of. It's the cleanest, if you will, room. But you can you kind of just talk about some of the space, the wall space, and how that's used?
Yeah, sure. So there's this is just a typical general classroom. On the third floor, the middle school wing, you'll see that there's 2 teaching walls where we've got an interactive screen on one of the walls that the kids can access. Either it's a touch screen monitor or they can access it from their mobile devices and kind of interactively work on that. We've also got the traditional whiteboards on these 2 walls. The third wall of the 3 that's not an outside wall is actually where they've got all their cabinetry and all the classroom storage is on that wall.
Yep.
As you kind of come around to the outside wall, we've lined those with bookshelves for additional storage. And you'll also see there's a light shelf that kind of runs up from the floor and then over across that wall. Underneath that is all writable wall surface. Yep. So and all the writable surfaces in the room are magnetic too. So lots of display space and lots of space for either lesson plans on the formal whiteboards or the traditional whiteboards, and then the writable wall is more geared towards brainstorming activities with the kids if they're working on small group projects together.
Yeah, and the space is great. That was just one of the typical spaces we did, and there probably is in here a couple of other smaller rooms or larger, or I think we did the science room maybe.
Yep.
But they're definitely moving along. Speaking of moving along, we hit the cafeterias. We hit both of them, actually. There's some pictures here of the smaller, or I call it the smaller one, but it's for the middle school side, correct?
That is correct, yep.
And then this great space, well, it's really looking great to me, actually. As far as the design and the colors and the lights, is the elementary side. So you want to talk a little bit to that?
Yeah, sure. I'll start on the middle school side, and just an overview of the cafeterias and how they work. We've got one kitchen that serves both cafeterias, but separately. So we've got a separate serving line from the middle school side, and then there's a separate serving line on the elementary school side. The middle school cafeteria is sized to accommodate basically 1 grade level per lunch sitting. So that's why that room is smaller.
Yeah.
Both the cafeterias look out into the behind the building to some nice landscaped patios. But then the elementary school cafeteria is the one that's the furthest along right now with the ceiling completed, and we had the lights turned on for us today.
Yep.
That's the one that you're talking about. It's a really nice space, lots of natural light coming in through the large curtain walls on 2 sides, and then the wood ceiling with some accent lighting in that, and then the general lighting fixtures, kind of the big circles you see in the video.
Yeah.
With the colorful acoustic panels up on the wall, just make it a really nice, inviting space.
Yeah, not to go too deep into it, but the lighting is just really great. It looks great. It doesn't look like that typical, 1970s school with the square lights kind of as you're walking along. Even I noticed in the hallway on the third floor there, and I'll try and put a little piece of that video here. The lighting is really interesting, actually.
Yeah, we wanted to stay away from kind of the traditional institutional looking fixtures in the school.
That's a good word.
And really bring some life and some interest to the building through the light fixtures that we selected.
Yeah. So the next thing we're going to see here, we'll jump into the gym and the gymatorium, I should say. And so the first thing you're going to see is kind of this grand reveal as we walk up into the room from there's a ramp that goes up into that main room or the what
stage.
Do you call it? The stage area. Mm-hmm. Yeah. and then you come around and your audience will be right there in the gym, right?
Yep, so you don't see it because they're not installed yet, but on the opposite wall, when you come around that corner and look out into the gym from the stage, is where the bleacher seating will be. But the gym itself is a really nice gym, nice and bright. There's lots of natural daylight in there, complemented with the actual in-house light fixtures, but nice high ceilings.
Yeah, and it's all set. I mean, it really looks ready to play on, if you would.
It does. That's right. Last time we were in there, they didn't even have the floor down, but now the floor is down. It's finished and it's painted. The striping is on the courts. So,
right. So let's move outside. So the rest of the building, just so everyone knows, the elementary school side, so K through 4, that's still kind of a work in progress. So there's nothing really exciting to see there. But we did take a walk outside, and the next thing you'll see is this area that's in between the wings. So let's talk about that a little bit.
So the way the landscaping at the elementary school side works is that between the long wings of the classrooms, or the classroom wings, we've got kind of quieter outdoor space that's intended for outdoor classroom and quieter activities. Beyond the end of the classroom wings is where the more active playground area is, and we've got the climbing structures, the basketball court.
Yeah, and it just looks really great. It looks like something I would like to see in my backyard.
The courtyards are very nicely landscaped. We've got like I said, an outdoor classroom. You can see the wood pergola kind of structure that's in there. There'll be actually a meandering concrete path that goes through, and you can also see a dry riverbed. The path actually kind of is serpentine and crosses the riverbed in a couple places with some Goshen stone bridges that haven't been installed yet.
Yeah.
But the feel of them, it's really is a nice calming space.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be great for the kids. So outside, I mean, the exterior of the building has really been pretty much buttoned up. Though there's a lot of glass work, or most of the glass, I should say, is in. And I could see even today they were out there cleaning the part of the building.
Yep, they're getting to that point. Like you said, there is some glass that's missing, but it's got some cloud patterns in them, and that glass is the last glass that we have to have installed on the project. Yep. Other than that, outside, the middle school playground area is done too, which is on the opposite side from the elementary, kind of up on the old practice field.
Yep.
And maybe with your drone, you'll be able to show some footage of kind of the circuit training structures that kind of surround the basketball courts in the center.
Yeah, and so I'm going to jump. This is kind of an inside-outside thing because I think I skipped it as we were talking. The media center is another one of my favorite spots to go and kind of get a look of the grounds, if you will, and also just the space itself. And so one of the things that folks will notice, they should notice probably right away as far as the front of the building is the, what are we calling it again?
We just call it the image screen wall.
Image screen wall. So if you, when you pull in, first thing you'll see on the towards the middle of the building, I guess is the best way to describe it, is what looks like a picture of the mountain. It really looks like the bottle everyone is used to seeing, and it's not really a picture. It's really a digital screen, if you will, with holes.
So yeah, it's actually it's the same metal material that the standing seams are, metal panels that surround it are. So it's a zinc material, and it's basically like stipple art is how I would describe it. Yeah. So they just punch holes in the metal at different sizes and spacing to kind of create the image. So we actually took a photograph of the bottleneck, and we sent it into them, and that's what they produced.
Right. Yeah, and it looks great, and hopefully if I've timed this right, as I say often in these videos, you'll be able to see from the outside what this looks like. And then there's some inside shots. So inside it's if you know what it looks like from the outside, you kind of can get an idea of the layout. But it's designed really to do a couple things, right? It's really there to give some shade to the glass, right?
Yep. So it kind of marks the media center from the outside of the building, but functionally that's a south-facing wall, and we've got a lot of glass on that wall. So we wanted to be able to kind of temper that with some kind of solar shading devices so that we don't get a lot of heat gain inside the room.
Yeah. And the floors, like everything, as you can see, the rest of the space, the floors are done in there, pretty much done in there.
I'd say
actually.
they're probably about 98% done. They got some finished work to do.
Hardwood floors, and part of it, there's carpet on the other side. All the lights are in, as far as the ceiling tiles are all in. It looked like pretty much in there. So that space is, again, is cruising right along. So again, as we said in the beginning, the goal is to have the students for the 5th grade through 8th grade in the building by January.
That's right. So, and everything's on schedule right now. The construction on those portions should be done by the end of this month. November 1st will be their substantial completion date. And then after that, between November 1st and January 2nd, we'll just be bringing furniture into the building, getting it ready for the kids.
Yeah, so I think our next video will probably hold off until we got some furniture in there and things are really kind of moving along as we get close to getting the students in there. So I think that's a wrap for today. I think that's all there is to say about that.
All right.
All right, thanks again, Bert, and we will see you again in a little while.
Sounds good. Thanks, Pat.